Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I'm creating two masculine happy birthday cards with a mixed media feel, some lots of extra little pieces, and I'm going to take you step by step through this process of how to create these cards using our For the Boys digital printable that is available at Papercraft Secrets. So I have already cut out my bits and pieces. So what I have cut out is a front and an inside for each of the two cards that I will be making today. So the inside one has the space to write the message on it, the white square. I've also cut out two of my Polaroid images, a motorbike and a basketball shot. So that's the ones that I'm going to be creating for my card. I've cut out two of these cogs and I've cut them in half. So I'm going to be using them underneath on the sides of my image to give it that masculine feel. I've also cut out some arrows, the thicker, bigger arrow, and I'm going to have that poking out of the side, and this arrow here poking out of the side. I've cut out a small arrow, a happy birthday tag, and a small arrow and a happy birthday tag. Now my happy birthday tags are actually from the Easter Blessings one, although there's new ones in the mail for the boys printable. I'm going to use a stapler for this card, and my intention was to use some ink, some black ink, although I did forget to ink a lot of my edges, but I do think inked edges might look nice for these cards. I did think that I had black cardstock. It turns out my cardstock wasn't black, it was like a dark charcoal grey or something, but it worked just fine as it was. I cut the base card, the charcoal black card, to 6 by 9 inches and then folded that in half. And then I cut my blue card to 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 inches. And I cut two of those per card so that I could have one on the front of the card and also one on the inside of the card. My next step was actually layering another piece of cardstock, and I chose this mustard coloured cardstock, and I cut that to 4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. Again, one for the front and one for the inside of each card, and then I layered the printable piece on top of the blue and the mustard coloured card. You can use any colour that you have in your stash at home. Next up, I layered all the pieces of my card together, and I used some recycled cardboard to create some depth between each one of my layers. And I just worked systematically through both of the cards, adding in the cog at the bottom and then my little arrows next on the card. And then finally my Polaroid image on top of those. And after that I added in my narrower arrow and my happy birthday sentiments, and I just layered those on top of, but just sort of like a little bit crooked, not straight. And then I added a little staple as well. Next up, I covered my picture with a little bit of scrap cardstock, and then I just flicked some black misting spray over the card to give it that mixed media effect. And then I added some black embroidery thread underneath the little bits and pieces to give it more of that mixed media effect. I inked around the edges of my card and also on the inside, give it a smudged look or a grunge look.
Finally, I decided that the images needed a little bit of a black border at the front. I actually went back in afterwards and changed the printables so that this border would be black in the printable. So I think it needed a bit more blackness. And then I just went around and doodled the edges. I added a little bit of bling to the front of each of the cards, and I found a beautiful blue star which I thought looked quite nice, and a little black circular piece of bling, and that completed my card. So it definitely has that grunge mixed media effect. This printable is available at www.papercraftsecrets.com.au and also comes free in the Papercraft Secrets classroom. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely crafty day.